Welcome back to another episode of Life Between the Volleys, brought to you by Hunt Proof, making you more successful. Gadwall Whiskey, cheers to the journey. Rick C Outdoors, the best dog stand on the market. Pattern Pros, where simplicity meets results. Free Cool Dog Vest, the only dog vest we trust. 30 Duck Coffee, the only coffee you need to get your morning started. Bluebird Waterfowl, changing the game of waterfowl. And Winter Productions, let us tell your story. Okay, welcome back. I actually don't know if that audio worked. Oh, well, screw it. We're going to make it work. But we are back with another episode. Let me get through my button pushes here. Okay, I've got the right scene ready. And we got the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Ron from Pattern Pros. And we're going to BS about a lot of shit, probably, because that's usually what me and him do when we're on the phone together. So we might as well jump on a podcast and do it. So,
yeah, I think most of our phone calls, probably 90% of it, is not about what we originally called each other to discuss.
No, it never is. And that's, dude, I think it's something with firefighters. Hey, I'm going to say that because, like, there's something with me and talking to apparently firefighters and school teachers that I don't know why you guys hunt. Well, probably because you're the funnest people I can be around. That and coaches. Most of them are coaches.
Did you just put firefighters and teachers in the same category?
Kind of.
I feel like it's like the exact opposite. They're like teachers. I feel like the whole time would be preaching like, go to college, get a degree, like go get a job. And you got all the the smart asses. They're like, I'm gonna be funny instead, and then have to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and either go put out something that's on fire or help some old fat person off the floor.
Well, I mean, I love Will to death, but he did pretty much go to college for a while, then decide to become a firefighter. But I will say this much. No one had more fun than we did when we were roommates in college. Just the shenanigans to each other. I learned more about
I was telling my oldest about. I wasn't telling her about the shenanigans because she's only 9 and she doesn't need to hear anything about those shenanigans for a long time. But I was telling her about one of my good friends who he was my roommate in he was our shortstop. And we hunted and fished just like crazy. But we did a lot of stupid stuff. There was a lot of natty light involved in most of our shenanigans.
Oh man, natty light. No thanks. No thanks.
Back when you could get a 30 rack for like $12 or something like that.
Yeah, I've never. I can honestly say, apparently, I did too much. And I just realized that like the camera will eventually die, and we'll just have to change the battery because as I look over the batteries on top of it that I meant to put in the camera. Dude, this is first podcast back. This is what you get. Just all the shenanigans and man, it's been like it was a long duck season there at the end. I did 4 states and like I got my ass kicked pretty much every day after like January 7th, it felt like. But I mean, that's crazy to think because that's a big debate. Everyone's like, oh, it's better in January. I would have took my November and December season like 7 times over this year.
Did you just have more birds, or was it weather, or what?
Weather. It was weather in general, and I'm glad we're gonna talk weather a big time because there's something that me and you've talked about it before, and you probably like can't think of it at the moment. But we're gonna talk about it because it relates to your company. But yeah, it was like weather driven. I think we had shot like second to like as a group, we were at like 80 some birds at like the second week of January already. And that had widgeons, pintails already, a bunch of teal, all kinds of really cool stuff, and like all the tons of black ducks and stuff. And then we hit that late season that was just no water and freezing cold, and everything started freezing, and it just became tough. I don't think it was stale birds or anything like that. It was just tough, and I don't know. We'll figure it out eventually. Sometime I learned a lot, but
Heated corn ponds.
Yeah, because apparently that's the issue. Everyone, that is the dumbest. If I got to hear about that or changing dates one more time in the next couple months, I may lose my shit. I might.
Just the fact that I brought it up, I'll say this. So, one, I don't think it should be allowed to plant all this corn and then just intentionally flood it. I just that doesn't make that doesn't seem like that's okay. But if somebody takes a 50-pound bag of corn and dumps it in the water, that's not okay. And then as far as short stopping ducks, I guarantee you it short stops some ducks. I don't know about the entire. I don't know if it's changing the entire migration, but I don't know. That's just kind of my 2 cents on it.
Rule. Okay, I'll get on it real quick. Why don't like the USDA or the DNR or whoever that wants to be involved in this as like a plan or program plan, like you can do, okay, you can do that. You can flood your corn and stuff, but they can't hunt it. How about they just can't hunt it or do like a harvest thing? Like you can't hunt it if it hasn't been mowed or something, but give them like a percent back or like a incentive program of some sort, like a money program, so that they can get away with like doing it, but get money out of it. You know what I mean? Like that way we're feeding the ducks in the flyways.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that's the way I can see the point of it, but also see that like the Missouri River was frozen another year and birds never left.
Yeah.
I mean, it's whether we got to have long, and I also think birds are adapting to that whole like let's hold out mentality.
Yeah, because like you look at some of the weather. There'll be in some of these northern places, and it will have been below freezing or like 0 degrees or whatever it is, and people are still seeing a bunch of ducks and geese. And it seems like the only way they're leaving now is like if they get that kind of freeze and there's a bunch of snow.
Yes,
So
like that has to fully cover the corn crop. It has to get where they literally, and I'm thinking it takes more than like a week for them to be like, okay, I'm gonna give up and go, because man, they have to fully lose their water and their food source before they're gonna leave now. And I think they've just adapted to the system and what's going on. But I say that in all as we're getting ready to jump to your company because I got a bitch and gripe because I got on this third. When was it? Like, it was today. I got on it. I worked talking with someone, and me, you've talked about it. But the fact when everything froze here, and there were guys still, and I kind of made probably a couple of them mad when I made the comments. But when the river is fully frozen and you're trying to hunt from a kayak, that is the most unethical bull crap you can do, in my opinion, because you're going to shoot birds that you can't get. That's like, to me, like DNR, write them a ticket. That's one waste all day long. I mean, if you can't,
it's unsafe. I mean,
I mean, I'm not trying to be an a-hole, but I really don't care about their safety. I'm more mad that you're literally just shooting birds that you can't get.
Yeah.
You're 100% wounding birds that you're not going to get to. And like, don't be like, well, it's no different when the river's open. Yes, it is different. We've hunted our river from a kayak multiple times and retrieved birds that are like 500 and 600 yards away. And yeah, it's probably not safe, far from it, but we've done it and we've been able to retrieve them versus I mean, you got to put every effort in there is in to retrieve a bird, I think, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
And the ethics side of it, where like I'm talking, where we're going to jump to y'all's company in a second, is like it just bugged me really bad because it's, if you're not going to do it ethically, then why are you even doing it? I mean, to me, it's just as bad as hunting over bait to an extent.
Some people just like to go out there and just say they duck hunt and I don't know. It's the same kind of people that ditch all their birds in a ditch.
Yes,
I mean,
100%.
say ditch twice there, but yeah, they're just. I'm like, dude, like, what are you doing? Like, go give it to somebody, like, or don't hunt at all if you're not going to eat it at all. Like, that's just.
Yeah, I mean, you can. There's literally always going to be someone that will take your birds, but I mean, I've had this discussion with my youngest son. He wants to go squirrel hunting. No, my oldest son, but he wants to go squirrel hunting, and I'm like, dude, I don't eat squirrels, so like, I'm like kind of torn between like, if we're gonna do this, we have to either go with someone who's going to eat squirrel, or like teach us kind of how to skin it and cook it. Like I've done it before, but it's been forever ago. I don't hunt them no more because I don't want to be. To me, like I'm trying not to be wasteful, and I don't want them to just learn that habit of being wasteful.
Yeah.
Because it's not fair to, it's not respectful to the game. It's not fair to the game. It's trying to raise him like I was raised, where like whatever you shoot, you eat.
Oh, absolutely.
But coming off the ethics of that, let's talk about, I've had you on here before, Pattern Pros, and everything you guys kind of have going on. We're getting ready to rock into turkey season, and I have a great idea that I need to run by you. That's something that we can't run about on here because someone will steal my idea. Probably Christian, but it's something that Brody said one time, and I'll tell you about, and I'll bring it up. Not all guns. If you and your buddy have the same gun, or if you and your buddy have the same choke and the same gun, they're not going to match. You can kind of dive into that with your background and stuff, that kind of talking about how you guys have noticed the differences, if you want.
So I haven't seen it like a firsthand account where it's like me and somebody else right next to me had the same gun, choke, shell, but I have seen it enough, and I've talked to enough people.
Just keep talking. Yeah, just keep talking. I'll get it. It's a battery.
I've talked to enough people who have had that firsthand account where they're like, me and my buddy have the same gun, choke, shell combination, and for whatever reason, his gun will pattern that shell, quite a bit better than mine, or for whatever reason, it won't cycle it. And then you're like, well, is it a gun issue? But then you put another shell in that same gun, and it'll cycle. So there's so many different little factors when it comes to that weapon operating, that you just don't really know until you actually go try something out, which is what I tell people. Just because you saw somebody on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram or whatever, and they had the same setup as you do, doesn't mean that shell is going to pattern exactly like whoever you watch do it. And the more I've done it, the cycling aspect of it is, almost as big a deal, where guys are going to get that first shell off and then it goes click for the second shot. So that's, if you're shooting a semi, like, that's obviously not what you bought a semi to do. So there's just so many different little factors that you don't want to necessarily take somebody's word for it, where you can, do your research and maybe get a starting point, but just because somebody else told you to, that's going to work, you still need to go verify it for yourself. And I've thought about this lately, where it's taken to the extreme, but the same principle. It's like, all right, somebody told me that this truck was really good. Are you just going to go buy a truck without going to test drive it? Well, no. All right. Well, it's the same kind of thing with your weapon. Like, you're about to go take it out, whether it's duck season, dove season, pheasant, turkey, whatever it is. Like, you need to go make sure that is operating how you want it to and how you intend it to work when the moment matters most. So, people just need to. So I think sometimes people are just kind of lazy with it. They're like, oh yeah, I saw this, and then they're like, man, why am I not hitting birds? And then I'm like, all right, well, go put it on paper. And then you're like, well, dude, you've got a freaking teal size hole in your pattern at 30 yards. So yeah, you're either not killing them stone dead, you're crippling them where they're going way out. Talking about going 500-600 yards, which, let's be honest, if a bird goes that far, even with a dog, there's a pretty good chance that bird is not going to get recovered. Just because by the time you even get a dog or the boat or kayak, whatever it is, out to that point, it's that thing is dove, or it's gone forever away.
Yeah, I mean, even when you look at like the same shell, different shot sizes, it plays such a big role in it. Like, I'm a diehard Boss fan. I run 3 Benellis, and I'm picking up a Mossberg 410 this week. Had to look see where the wife was, because I hope she's not in the room. I haven't told her yet I'm doing that. But yeah, so it changes so drastically with them. like the shot. Like I know, like I love 3.5s. That's my shell I go to every time in my boss load. It's 3.5. I ended up with a case of 4s because I was in Arkansas, and I was like, I had a brand new 20 gauge. I was like, I'm gonna buy some. I ran across some ball shells. I was like, oh, okay, I'll buy these. And man, I'm pretty sure that I haven't done my job. I have not put it on paper yet, but I struggle to use them. Like I actually just leave them set in my gun safe. So I have like 200 rounds of shells that are a waste at this point, pretty much.
Bismuth or copper?
They're the copper plated bismuth. Like I could resell them for a lot of money. I could resell them easily. Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's 4-shot. It's something about it that I feel like when I shoot it, I struggle with it.
So yeah, there's just like I keep saying it, and I feel it feels super redundant, but it's just like you've got so many different factors with it. So what now you got different shot size, and then so you've got a stack load there. So 3s and 5s, for whatever reason that combo seems to work, and then you go to 4s, and you're like, man, it doesn't feel the same. But the other thing, and I don't know if this is the case, but maybe that's a different ounce load. Maybe it's only an ounce and an eighth compared to an ounce and a quarter, or it's a different foot per second. There's just so many different factors that you're like, you have to really do your research, because it's otherwise you get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, whatever it is, to go hunt, and you're like, all right, well, I don't know, I bought this and we'll see what the hell happens. You're like, dude, like, I'm all for watching sunsets and everything and BSing with the boys in the blind, but I am up early to go shoot stuff. I love bacon wrapped duck. So does my wife and kids. It makes it a lot easier when I come home with that.
It
Because
just
it's like, when are you bringing more home?
on a married person's aspect of it with a family, like it kind of justifies you going hunting if you're bringing something back.
Oh yeah.
I feel like a little worse if I come back and I don't have anything, and I'm like, man, like this is bad. And like my wife can even see it on my face, because I'm like, well, I took time away from my kids, whether it was I didn't do my job scouting, I didn't do my job like shooting or something. If I don't do my job and I come back empty-handed, I feel really bad about it. And kind of how I kind of noticed the difference in those shells, where it was a hunt in a field, and these are birds finishing at like 20 yards, and I'm like, and honestly, I actually had the 4s and I had the copper with me that day. I think the copper, I don't know what the coppers are. I'm wanting to say they're 3.5s, but I'm not positive on that, because I don't know if it was some of the first run coppers from balls. And I could tell shooting the 4s, I was struggling. And it was sometime after that, like, to me, like, if like a lot of guys don't like water swatting birds, which I think is the dumbest thing ever.
Full send.
Yeah. I mean, first off, if you finished them that well, then go ahead and tell them to get, I mean, your kill percentage is so much higher. It should be so much higher with a bird on the water. If you're patterning your gun, you're doing your job, it's higher every time on the water. And I related it to, we was on a hunt in the backwater one day, and I was with my good buddy Nick, and I could tell the difference in his gun pattern and my gun pattern by a bird that he had knocked down. And this bird's at like 50 yards, sitting on the water, it's injured. My dog's to the right, trying to like kind of figure out where that bird went down at. And like he walks out to the left, shoots. And I was like, here, I'll start walking that way and get the dog lined up. And I get about 45, 50 yards away. And I'm like, this bird, like, it's got its head up. And I'm like, this is it. Like, this is either, and I see my dog turn and look, she's now got it lined up on it. And I'm like, okay, like, it's do or die now. Like, either I shoot this thing or hope she can swim to it and deal with it in this backwater. And I was like, 45, 3.5 loaded, 1 shot, flattened it on the water completely at 50 yards. It just like covered its head and just, stoned it flat. And I did it 2 or 3 times. And I'm like, okay, these 3.5s are the way I'm going.
I was going to say something that, other people don't think about is, you're shooting one shell and you're doing really well. And then you go to another, or even a different shot size, And instead of you're like, hey man, I can't hit anything, like maybe this, pattern's, crappy, it potentially could go the other way, and now you've got a pattern that's too tight.
Yeah.
So now it's not nearly as forgiving, whereas you had a margin of error before, allowing you to get a good even pattern, and now you end up with something that's much tighter, and now you're either stoning them or completely whiffing.
Yeah, I'm gonna put you on the spot here. What is your ideal like percentage, shot percentage in the circle? If you were gonna judge a gun, judge a shell, like what do you think in the success? Like for me, I'll go first and give you time to think. I am a 100%. Let's freaking long range. I did lighten up to mid range this year. Choke tube 3.5. I want to either hit it or miss. If I miss, I want it to be clean. They ain't no either I've hit it, stoned it, and it's done. I mean, I had 2 Scotch triples and watched a Scotch double this year. Now, a lot of those were kind of on the water, so they can get over it. I actually Scotch tripled widgeons and made everyone super mad when I did it, kind of, because it was like October widgeons, which we never shoot widgeons here, and I Scotch triple a set of widgeons. And I was like, those look kind of different. And I was like, oh, God, those might be something crazy. But yeah, like that, in my opinion, that is the thing to go with is I like it tight because I either want to miss or I don't. Either I want to hit or I want to miss. Now it sucks because we shot at a lot of teal this year, and most teal I've ever shot at, and those SOBs are harder than crap to hit when they're running Mach 500 at you.
They're tiny.
Dude, they're very, very tiny. Like they fit in the palm of your hand so small.
So I think way too many people shoot a full choke.
I knew I was gonna be that guy. So
I think so many people, they're like, yeah, I'm a killer, and I'm like, dude, you're probably like you're the guy who is shooting 3 times every single time, and you're like, yeah, you hit him at freaking 40, 45 yards, but it's like if you just loosen it up a little bit, you just kill him on the first shot or the second shot instead of bam, 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 bam. You're like, well, that was 4 shots, but let's be honest, a lot of people don't know what a plug is. I think too many people shoot a full choke, and I think it's because a lot of people don't go put stuff on paper and see what it's actually doing. Now you get some guys who are just very, very good shots, like they're very confident, and they know what's going to happen when they pull the trigger. So it's like those are the guys who are like, I'm hitting them in the head every single time. But for 95% of people, that's just not the case. You're probably just not that good a shot. And I mean, myself included, I don't get a chance to shoot enough anymore to be as efficient as I once was. I was just telling Brody and I were talking yesterday. I was like, dude, I took for granted all the time in the Marine Corps where I pulled the trigger. I mean, literally tens of thousands, probably maybe 100,000 times. I don't know, close to that in my 8 years in the Marine Corps. Like, I pulled the trigger a lot, and granted, almost all of that is rifle with a decent amount of pistol, and only a handful of times doing a shotgun that was a breaching shotgun. But it was still just all the mechanics, everything. I was constantly pulling the trigger, like, and now I don't do that anymore. My last season in California, I killed a bunch of ducks, and like I got to that point where I was like, I'm gonna go out there, and I'm probably gonna shoot a limit, and it was like I'm going to dust everything that comes around me. That's how proficient I got. But most guys, don't get a chance to hunt as much as I did because I had moved my wife and kids from California here to South Carolina. So there was no hey, when are you going to be home? It was I'm going to hunt until I limit out.
Yeah, and that's well, I mean, it's how many guys actually take the time and go shoot shoot their shotguns, like run. Like when I say rounds, I mean hundreds of rounds through their shotguns. Like
It's expensive, so like I understand why
and
guys don't.
that's the thing.
But
But some of the shells have gotten cheaper. I was there the other day at like an academy looking around in there, and like they are. It seemed to me like shells were a little on the cheaper side. It seemed like
you can go find some cheap dove loads or target loads, whatever, for $9. Like,
yeah, and I think just getting the reputation of the reps of shouldering your gun, following through, and pulling the trigger. Like yeah, like it might not be the best pattern out of the gun, but that representation of those movements and doing what you got to do, I think it matters a lot because I can see the difference in, from when before I had 2 kids and I was literally putting 200-300 rounds out of shotguns in the summer, shooting clays and shooting at birds. Like we decoyed a whole lot less, but it felt like we hit a lot more because we had a lot more reps in with guns. And I mean, we've also been the kind of guys that like, if we get a new shotgun, we firmly believe in running 100 rounds through it and breaking it in. Like that's kind of how I've been. Like, I don't know how many guys do that. How many guys, like if they buy a new gun, like how many rounds do you put through it before they take it hunting? Like some guys probably might have guns that they've put like 20 rounds through them, period.
well, so it's funny. I talked to a lot of guides and outfitters. That's kind of one of our next things is talking to guys and outfitters and having them buy our packs, because I'm like, before you go spend 10, 20, 30 grand or however much those guys spend on ammo, I said try this, and that way you're not only going to get the best deal, you're going to get the best deal for the best shell for you guys to set up. But that was kind of a rabbit hole there. But I'm like, what is it with clients and shotguns? They ask you like what shells to shoot, like all the time. I'm like, all right, well, one, tell them to go check us out. That way, when they come to you, they're actually gonna potentially suck a little bit less. But two, that's gonna make sure that they've actually shot their shotgun before coming to you. And a lot of them are like, dude, we have had, I don't know how many guys, it happens every single year, where they show up the night before the freaking hunt and the gun is still in the box, like in the plastic, like everything. They're like, dude, like you got to get the packing grease off. You've never, like, you don't even know this thing will shoot. Like maybe there's something wrong with the firing pin. Like you've done all this traveling and spending money, and it's like,
I had a Savage Stevens that wouldn't cycle shells. And I dealt with it for the longest time. Like we thought it was just like going to be a thing we had to deal with. And I finally sent it back to them, and they were like, "Yeah, your gun's like malfunctioned. Bad news is we no longer make this shotgun no more because it was such a piece of shit that they were like, here, you're gonna have to pick something else." And they gave me, end up doing a 20 gauge over under that I traded. Well, actually, I sold it. Sold it to somebody else and went and bought my SX4 that I had before. I just traded it like the other year. Got rid of it. But yeah, I mean that's a brand. That was a gun that like there was nothing. It was literally malfunctioned from the factory, and it wouldn't cycle shells. It would cycle every like fifth shell. It might cycle to like the second shot.
So it's funny. So similar but different. But when Christian got his SX4 20 gauge a few years ago, before we went and saw the guys in Arkansas, Forrest and Tyler and them, he got this new gun, and like the week before he was here, I was like, all right, well, obviously we're gonna go pattern it. It was like, all right, well, 25 yards. He wanted to be different because we always tell people you should shoot it, it's 24 shells with 8 different shells of each. You shoot one at 20, one at 30, one at 40. Christian wanted to be different, which is about right. And so he wanted to shoot 25 yards. All right, whatever. Well, we went through 5 or 6 shells, all of them awful. I mean, like, got like just not, it would have been 15 yards in to kill a bird effectively. It was just so bad. I was like, dude, something's wrong. Like we literally, like, we went to the point where it was like, I shot a couple shells just to make sure, like, God forbid, like he wasn't doing something wrong. But that was the factory modified which most of the time has no issues. Like my 870 factory modified, like I've got one other choke for it. It's my freaking turkey choke. Like that's it. That's been phenomenal for me. But I'm like, so many people, I guarantee you, just go do that, and I'm sure there's plenty of SX420 gauges that the factory modified choke was fine. Like I'm guarantee it. But for whatever reason, that one sucked. And I guarantee you it happens with every single brand of shotgun that there is with the factory modified choke, is there's something wrong with it and it just is going to suck. But if you don't go figure that out prior to, you are metaphorically shooting yourself in the foot. And it is a disservice to you, everybody around you. You're just hurting yourself. Like, just go figure out like what is actually going to work. And like, I'll still never forget. And it was an NWTF. Not last year, the year before. So that was 20. What year is it now? Let's see, 26, 25. It was 24. February of 24 when we were at NWTF and we had just launched turkey stuff. And I remember walking around and it was kind of a confident, cocky. I don't know if cocky is the right term, but like I remember looking at the guys and I was like, boys, like I think honestly we have the coolest thing here. I think we have the coolest product because all of these other things, they're awesome. Turkey calls, duck calls, shell, all kinds of different, like, yeah, they're going to help you. But I was like, honestly, I think our product is the only thing here that will immediately make you more effective or more efficient, because it's going to show you directly in front of your face what is working best for you. Not your buddy, not the guy you saw on the internet, directly in front of your face. That worked. That's exactly what I wanted to do. Or, that's too tight. I've had a couple shells that I'm like, that's too tight for me to actually go duck hunt how I want to duck hunt. You have to figure out what is going to work for you. And there's so many different guns and so many different gun or chokes and shells and shot sizes. And then within those shot sizes, there's different freaking feet per second. And then you got different ounces. It's just like, dude, you don't know what's going to happen when you pull the trigger. You're not going to be efficient. You're not going to be as efficient as you possibly could. Not saying that whatever shell you picked up at Walmart isn't going to be a great shell for you. Like, very well could be the best shell that you ever shoot. And you got lucky with that. But I've seen enough patterns now to where I'm just like, there's probably a better shell for you. Or you look at it the other way and go, well, that shell was almost as good as this one, but it's $10 less a box. And I'm all for guys saving money. Like, I'm 8 years in Marine Corps. I obviously make a whole lot of money. Still a firefighter now, so not freaking retiring anytime soon. It just is going to show you so many things. And we go back to the point of guys not pulling the trigger prior to the hunt. You going and patterning isn't necessarily going to make you a better shot because you're not tracking, you're not trying to shoot something flying out of the air. However, it is going to help you with muscle memory and get kind of like those first shot jitters out. Like anytime it's opening day, you're jacked up. Like, duck hunt, like things start flying around and like, oh, here we go. Like, and you don't want the first time you pulling the trigger that year to be when we got birds coming in. You don't want to be the first time pulling the trigger on that big old freaking tom gobbling at you. Like, so many other things that you just don't want to experience for the first time. Like, you need to go practice a little bit.
Well, what is the one tool you can't go without? Your gun. You don't need a duck call to kill a duck. You don't need a turkey call to kill a turkey. You 100% doesn't. And man, I hate to break this, but like other than like the shapes of everything, there's probably less variations in duck calls between companies and turkey calls between companies. Um, there's man, I'm not trying to make
It's
anyone
hard.
mad because I have
I
brands I like. I have brands I'm gonna stick to and use. Um, my duck calls when I'm diehard a fan of, like I have like literally multiples of what I use, and I'm going to continue to have multiples of what I use. It's not to say there's not something similar. There's only so many ways to cut a duck call. I feel like now there might be small variances in the looks and in the tone boards and stuff, but once again, you don't need a call to kill a duck. You don't need a call to kill a turkey. You legit can figure out his pattern, watch what he does, see where he comes out, and sit and wait on him to show up.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, a lot of guys they say like they'll go into the woods and if they know they figure out a bird is near or in the area, they'll sit there and just scratch leaves.
Yeah,
Like that. That's all they do.
yep, 100%. I mean, look at. I mean, I hate to say, but have you? I mean, if you watch the hunting public, I've seen videos where they've killed 1 billion turkeys, probably literally just getting under them early in the morning, sneak in as close as they can, scratch leaves, and it might take them a day or two, but maybe if they don't get him the first day, they'll go and get on like the other side if he pitched that away and just get in his way, and he's going to come past you.
Oh yeah, So the calls definitely make it a lot easier.
Yes, but why would you not really want your gun to work as good as you can, whether it be the choke, the shell, and I mean, and then speaking of shell, because I want to get on this before we get away from it. So you all started with duck, and now you got turkey, and there's other stuff coming down the pipe. We don't have to go on that because turkey season's coming up. But let's talk the overwhelming the shells. Like, I feel like the shells are just insane when it comes to like the varieties out there. Like, I mean, there's a lot of different duck hunting brands that are well known, and I think a lot of people go buy that brand because they're well known. But then you get on the turkey side, there's a lot of mom and pops just all over the place.
It's funny because you see so many guys talk about it on Facebook, and it's like, oh, those are like the bottom of the barrel factory loads, or those are just factory loads. Like the hand, the hand load stuff is better, which I mean, let's be honest, a lot of the time it is. But it's funny where you do see a lot more smaller companies in the turkey side of it than you do the waterfowl. Where it's guys talking about shells and they're like, well, for ducks, just go to Walmart or wherever and buy the cheapest crap possible. They're all the same. And then you're like, come to turkey shells. They're like, no, you like find a good hand load, and like that's gonna do you right. It's either that or they're like, well, go get Winchester Longbeard XR.
I have 1,000 of those still, and I don't even use my 12 gauge anymore. I have like 5 20 gauge loads and 4 28 gauge loads left, and that's pretty much what I'm going to shoot probably for the next like 4 years. I mean, we're in a 2-bird state, and I mean, you know what I mean? Like that's 9 shells left if you're proficient and watch what you're doing. Like, I mean, you can make that last 4 or 5 years. Granted,
well, that's 4.5 years.
Yeah, and granted, I
that's
do
some quick math right there for a firefighter.
Yeah, I'm an engineer. I've had a long day. I'm tired. I don't want to do math no more. But yeah, I mean, I do want to hunt other states, and that's kind of the goal, is eventually hunt other states. But even at that, like, speaking of like shells, like I brought up the 410 that I'm in the process of buying this week, but like you can get those in boxes of 10. That's insane. Because I mean, you didn't get anything in 10s except unless you went way back to like the Winchester. I don't know if Winchester comes in 10s anymore, but the old school Winchesters were 10 per box. But now everything's like 5 shells a box, ain't it? I mean, you're the guy who deals in ammo. I'll let you.
Longbeard XR, Super X, Double X is all 10s.
Okay.
And then obviously all their TSS is in 5s. But was it Supreme? Was that Winchester Supreme?
Maybe.
People talk about the Supremes. I think it was that was before my time. But yeah, most of the lead loads are just the 5 round boxes. But well, speaking of shells, obviously this year has looked a lot different than the last few years, with TSS prices just
Ooh.
losing their freaking minds.
Yeah, it's $100 for 5 shells is insane.
So I've thought about it. I'm like, all right, for just anybody just going out, just probably in their public woods or just out their back door, $100 for 5 shells is a lot. Guys who are going to go travel and they're going to other states, they're buying other licenses, another $100 to up your odds to make that worth it isn't. I mean, it's still expensive. Let's be very honest. $20 trigger pull, but that's not nearly as much of a factor as the guys who are like, dude, like I'm gonna go hunt my freaking on my family's 20-acre farm. Like I'm not gonna go spend $100 on that, which I get. But the sub gauges would have become insanely popular for turkey, because of TSS. Like 12 gauge TSS is still, I mean, there's still plenty of it out there, but the 20 gauge stuff is, so many more people are shooting that this year. 410 is that's my favorite thing, is having a 410 with TSS. And one of these days I'd love to kill a bird like that. But having my kids not have to rely on freaking a lead turkey load, having to get 15 yards at most. Having the TSS there is a game changer. But so something that started to come out last year, and I had I got a buddy who owns an ammo company, Salt Creek, Utah. I'm said Ohio. Um, him and I started talking about it either last year or year before, about like a lead TSS like combo shell. And so he came out with that last year, and then I've seen an uptick in that this year. So we actually came out with a pack that is a lead TSS, hybrid pack, whatever you want to call it. So for this one, we've only got 4 companies. I'm still waiting on another one, to round out that 5th company, but we went ahead and released it with just the 4. So we've got the Migra hybrid in there. We got Federal 3rd Degree, Epic Shot Shell, and Salt Creek. But you're still getting a lot of the added benefits of TSS without having to pay a freaking arm and a leg. Like a lot, these boxes are going, for I think $40, $45, for just straight off the shelves. So guys are able to get these at a lot better prices. And I shot one a few weeks ago that I mean, dead bird at 40, dead bird at 50.
I mean, I remember back in the day, like we were shooting 3.5s, like when I first started turkey hunting. But like, I mean, I regularly remember seeing birds shot at like 15, 60 with 3.5 lead. Also think it does help. We ran extended long range chokes back then too, and that's kind of what I grew up using. And I have, well, I actually don't know if we have the footage anymore, but I had plenty of footage of me missing turkeys also, probably due to that. At closer range, I mean, if you just make a small mistake, it's right past their heads.
Which is an issue with guys, going back to like the full choke thing. So many guys, I think, run a turkey choke tube, and they want to get to the absolute, they want to shoot a slug, essentially. And I just don't, you see those people talk about how they missed a bird at 20 yards all the time. You're like, you got it. And you're like, dude, like, well, you're not giving yourself any room for for air.
Yeah.
Like you don't need to hit his head with 100 freaking BBs. Like talking about getting 400 plus BBs, 500 BBs in a 10-inch circle at 40 yards. It's just like I get trying to be precise, but at the same time, it's like, dude, you're not helping yourself out. Like the target is sitting still. So like, yeah, you can do that all freaking day, but when your heart's freaking jump through your damn chest, and he's freaking gobbling, and he's moving around, and then he's doing all these other things that freaking target wasn't doing. You're just asking for failure.
Yeah.
Whereas if you loosen your choke up a little bit, you're still going to hit that bird freaking 30, 40, 50, 60 times. Like the bird's going to die. He's going to die right there and there. Like you don't need to hit him with 200 freaking BBs. It's just which is I think TSS and some of these splatter targets had a real impact on that. Like that. It's kind of I don't know. I want to say place the blame, but it's kind of their fault that I think that people are running tighter and tighter chokes, because it's like, one, the splatter targets, obviously they look freaking cool when they get hit. There's no doubt about it. But then, shooting TSS, you can just get so many more on there. So you're like, well, yeah, I want to see. It almost becomes a competition. You're like, guys will post, like, how's this pattern look? And it'll be like 300 freaking BBs in that 10-inch circle. And then everyone will comment, or not everyone, but people will comment like, oh, with this setup, I had 400. It's like, this thing isn't bulletproof. Like, I don't know what you're trying to necessarily do to kill that bird, but if that bird's moving along and bopping his head or doing whatever, you were giving yourself such little room for error. And then I had a conversation earlier in the year with somebody. You see all of these states with a declining turkey population, and I don't know if this is far fetched or just splitting hairs, but 10 years ago, it seems like most states' turkey population was on the up. Like,
Yeah.
and I don't remember exactly when TSS really came on the scene, but it seems like so many more guys are killing birds a lot farther. Like, they're killing birds at 60 yards, whereas with lead, you're probably not making that shot. If you are, you should not be trying to kill a turkey at 60 yards with lead. Like that's a long ways.
Yeah, I mean it's not close.
No. But how many birds do you think have been get killed every single year with guys shooting TSS at 60 yards that are hung up and like they are not coming in? Like, probably a lot. Like, that bird with lead lives to fight another day.
I also want to say I think we have and this is going to piss people off, but I think we have a better set of hunters in the world now. I think we have more proficient hunters, whether they're just educated as far as when it comes to how to hunt, strategies, ideas, tips, tricks, tactics. A lot of time it doesn't take what tool you're using. It's knowing how to use those tools. I think you see, and I don't know as much because I haven't paid as much of attention on that side. But let's look at like the duck hunting side. All the new companies out there that have all the new gadgets and stuff that help you kill them better and closer. There comes a point when are we technology like overpowered?
It's too much. Yeah.
Is it too much? I mean, okay, let's look at the feral hog. Okay. Yeah, it's out of control. It's overpopulated. We shot them so bad during the day and trapped them so bad during the day, they went to nocturnal. What did we do? Made night vision better.
Yeah.
And now look at us. We had night vision, then we got thermals. Dude, now there's coyotes that cannot. So, I mean, and not that those don't need kill, because I think those are issues. Those are one's a predator. I mean, would you count a hog as a predator? I
No, it's not a
mean,
predator,
but he
but
just causes
I mean,
problems.
they kill. I mean, they're just freaking monsters,
Nuisance.
I guess, if
Yeah.
you will.
But
I
like,
know that people say like they'll kill turkeys. They destroy their nests. So what I think whether they've got meso predators or something like that. I don't know the exact term, but I don't know. I think honestly, like people talk about hog problems. I would say if you really wanted to, the states could get rid of hogs. Um, they would say they would allow night hunting on with thermals on some
well,
of these public lands, uh, and then you got other ranches that have people pay to come in there and kill them. Like,
I mean, let's look at this. Let's look at the aspect of the raccoon. I used to know some stats on him, but like, let's look at his stats of a life. You can look them up. At one point in time, like the raccoon was almost extinct in the Midwest, and now it's like one of the biggest. Its biggest populations is in the Midwest. Um, you have like our area where we have seasons on them. I do believe your area there is no season on it. Um,
yeah, I don't think so.
well, I mean, I know there's other states like Arkansas. There's no season. You can shoot them year round. Out west, they're shootable year round. Here we have a season on them, so basically they're free range on nests during the spring. There's no way for us to kind of
So
control
trapping
what.
used to be way, 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 way
Yeah,
bigger.
yeah, true. And
And
there's very few people that trap anymore.
so the biggest reason that people, I think one of the biggest reasons that people don't trap nearly as much anymore is it's no longer profitable. Guys used to sell all kinds of furs and like that was their job. Um, but so I started trapping last Christmas, so it's going on a year and a half now. Um, and I was always interested in it. Um, you know, it started when I was actually still stationed in California. We had our yards were so bad because there was all of these pocket gophers that they literally would destroy your yard. Like
Yeah,
you would just fall through. So I started trapping those, and I was like, this is fun. And then like I caught like 30 or 40 of them in my little yard. Yeah, I was like, it was I was going to town on 'em. And then a few years ago, I went turkey hunting with my brother-in-law, and we took my oldest and my my oldest, and then his younger son, and this one little piece of property that was I don't know 20 acres, if that. We heard I think 7 different gobblers that morning. Granted, like a couple of them were just off the property, but were close enough. I was like, dude, like, what are you? How do you have this many gobblers in such a little area? Um, and he goes, dude, trap the absolute crap out of stuff. And so I started doing it, and I think I'm with the two properties that I lease. One's 75 acres, the other one's 80, and they're I don't know a quarter mile, half mile apart. Um, and I've gotten rid of over 50 coons and possums, and so that over 50 coons and possums, two coyotes, four bobcats, and I think four foxes. So immediate like literally like when it was in the over the summer when I started to see on camera the amount of poults, I was like, holy crap. Like, and not only did I see that many poults because they actually got the chance to make it out of the nest, I then saw them continue to grow up, and it was like I think after 10 days or 2 weeks, something like that, they're old enough to where they can get up in the tree and roost, and that way they at least get off the ground. But it made such an impact so quick that I got to watch like with my own eyes, whether it was on camera or actually going to the property. But it was just like this made such a difference so quick that I was like, there's no reason you shouldn't do it. You don't have to spend a whole lot of time. Um, and then for coons and possums, like going to get, half a dozen dog proofs with the anchors. I mean, it'll cost you, I don't know, $100, and like, go put them around your freaking corn pile. And like, I know there's like coon baits and stuff, but I will literally take like the little tiny little marshmallows, and I'll put a few in the trap and a couple around it. And dude, I've had them, like, I put them out, and then a few hours later, I've had coons in the trap. And I use a cell cam, so I'm always monitoring it. Um, and it makes such a difference so quick that I'm like, dude, this is great. So now, like, this year, I think I've got a group of 7 Jakes. 7 Jakes. I'm like, all right, well, next year looks pretty good. Because now I know that their odds of success or survival, can't speak, is infinitely higher now. They don't have a bunch of freaking murder cats roaming the property, and all of these foxes I get rid of. So I'm like, all right, their odds of survival just went through the freaking roof. And then all of these hens now, there's more than there were last year. All of those have got a way better chance of freaking not only surviving, but now reproducing. So it's like within 1 year, I saw my turkey population absolutely explode. Where, like, I think I saw the most I ever saw, I think, was 15. I think one little flock of 15 turkeys was the most I ever saw. And now I'll routinely have, not as much now, obviously they're starting to break up. But I would have 25 plus turkeys in one picture. And then I knew that there was multiple other flocks of like 7 or 8, because I'd be getting them all about the same time. And I'm like, there's just so many more birds on the landscape. And it's been such a cool process of doing it all.
Well,
And like, I explain to my kids every time we go shoot a coon or a possum or coyote, whatever the heck it is. I said, like, I don't enjoy shooting whatever's in the trap. I'm not like, yes, I got to go shoot something in a trap, because it's not going anywhere. It's over with. But I tell them, I said, I don't like doing things, but I like turkeys a lot more than I like these things.
well, look at it this way. I know here, like, I grew up around coon hunting, and I grew up around a lot of coon hunting. That's what my dad did. He worked shift work, so like staying up all night long on his days off was nothing for him. And they ran, like, for years, like him and his buddies ran very successful dogs. But it's one of the things where it's like, we don't see that no more here. Like, and all the properties have split up smaller and smaller and smaller. And now it's a thing that the guy's dog gets on someone's property, they complain and yell. Well, for me, I've seen coons just become rampant. Like, they're literally running amok. No one's keeping them in balance. No one's doing anything to, like, I mean, let's be honest, there's nothing that really hunts a raccoon or a possum. Maybe a bobcat at the best. But I mean,
Yeah.
to be honest, like, a coon's going to outsmart a bobcat probably 9, maybe 8 times out of 10, just because of like how they're gonna go about doing stuff.
I've had it happen a couple times now, where I've had a coon in a trap and have had coyotes walk right past it.
Yeah, I don't.
They want nothing to. They want, like, I'm like, dude, that thing is.
They're little panda bears that are mean.
It doesn't. Yes, little trash pandas that are vicious.
Yeah.
But I'm like, they want nothing to do with that. You're like, cars are probably their worst enemy.
Yeah.
But
Probably.
other than that, but I used to have, I'd have like 10, 12 plus coons on, a corn pile throughout the season. And now, you're never going to get rid of all of them. Obviously, some more have kind of filtered back into the areas, and I'll have 2, 3, 4 that I'll still see, but it's nothing like it used to be. And I'm like, all right, as soon as turkey season's over with, like, those coons are just going to get absolutely hammered. Like, I'll go put out I'll go get feeders started again, and as soon as that starts to go, those coons will freaking flock to it. And I
Well,
bet within a week, like I've got to get a handful more of those traps. But um, when I had, I borrowed some from my brother-in-law, so I had probably a dozen and a half out, and I was catching like 4 and 5 a night
well,
over a few different spots. So like I can go put it out, and I'll catch 10 in a week, like zero issues. So it's just it'll happen real quick, like where it does not take a lot of time, especially now that I've already whittled it down away from freaking 10 freaking coons a night, which is stealing almost half a bag of corn a night.
yeah, and you gotta look at like I mean, a coyote or bobcat killing one hen, that's one turkey, but a nest that gets raided, that's 9 to 12. I don't know what
Well,
the
so a
average
lot of time
turkey.
the coon will kill the hen that's sitting on the nest too.
Yeah, because she won't leave. So, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, you gotta think about what they're like. You look at like if the hen flies off the nest and the bobcat or coyote misses her, I don't think they're gonna mess with the eggs like a coon would. I don't know,
Yeah,
and I may be completely
I don't
wrong
know.
in what I'm thinking,
I
but
don't think so. I mean, I don't.
I just know that coons and possums and skunks and all them are 100 times worse on a nest.
They are there to get the nest.
Yeah, that's what they're there for, and they want to move the hen out of the way to get that nest.
So one of the other things like I was telling my kids about um, is not only are you helping the population, but you're helping your hunting property because obviously you're not probably not trapping the properties around you,
Yeah,
but now you are creating a zone of safety for those animals. So it's like, all right, I'm getting rid of all of the freaking as many predators and coons and possums as I can, and I try and feed. Obviously not now,
yeah,
but I feed year round. So I'm like, all right, I am getting rid of all of their freaking the things that are actively trying to hunt them year round. I'm getting rid of all of the things that are destroying and eating their nests, and I'm giving them food.
yeah,
It doesn't take. Granted, it doesn't take a lot of time, but it doesn't take a ton of money. The only thing that costs money is feeding year round, and whatever state you're at. And I wish we didn't do corn piles, but that's where we are. I miss spot and stock hunting out west, but
yeah. I mean,
corn
that's
piles is what we got.
yeah. Um. Oh crap. Okay, so we'll kind of start looking at wrapping up here because me and you's got we got work tomorrow and plans of other stuff. But let's
I
talk.
don't got work tomorrow.
Oh well, one of us has work tomorrow. I'm sorry, I forgot I was talking to a firefighter. They're off every little whipstick. You guys,
Yeah, but my back still hurts from helping a 350-pound lady off the
yeah.
freaking floor
You know what?
yesterday morning at 6 o'clock.
Lift with your knees and not your back.
No, there was no. There we had to call somebody else to help us because there was only two of us, and it was not happening. She was zero help. Um, but before we get to wrap it up, you hit it on it earlier about the new stuff we got coming out this
Yeah,
year.
yeah. I was gonna hit that. I was gonna hit that.
Okay, well, I jumped ahead of you, so my bad. Um, yeah, so we are coming out with an upland pack. I got all the ammo sitting here at my feet. It's gonna be the same concept. 8 different shells with 3 of each, so still 24 shells in the box. We'll have, as of right now, we'll have 2 variants. We'll have a pheasant loadout, which I think is all number 5s, except for the Migra 4.6 stack, and then we'll have a dove/quail option. And I think those are all pretty much all 7.5s, except for the Migra 7.5 9s, and then I think the boss unleaded I think is number 6s because that's a steel load, if I'm not mistaken. But
It is. It
so
is.
that'll be coming out this year, and then a completely different aspect, different world is rifle ammunition. So that's going to be a bit different, but same concept. It'll be, I think we'll start with five different calibers. It'll be what was it? 308, 30-06, 270, 6.5 Creedmoor, and then I'm kind of teetering back and forth between 243 and 300 Win Mag, or we'll just freaking do all six of those. And for each one of those, it's going to be 4 different companies. So four different shells with 5 of each. So that way we'll still have it, just your normal freaking 20 round box. We'll just have that same kind of insert going into the box, but it's something I got to experience firsthand a couple years ago, trying to zero my kid's 243, and I was with my brother-in-law, and he's got all these freaking gun tools, and he's shooting it, and it's in a tripod, 100 yards, and first shot 8 inches low center. All right. Well, second shot is like 6 inches high right of center. And I'm like, oh, wow, that's really bad. So takes out a tripod, loosens the scope, and then tightens it back down to torques it down to specs. Like, all right, like it's on there, everything's fine. Like you don't see any other issues. To another 2-round group is literally the exact same grouping, and he goes, all right, well, we're done. Like that gun obviously does not like that shell. I went to the store the next day, bought a different box 243, and 50 yards. I had essentially 3 holes that were touching, and I'm like, all right, cool. Like we're good now. But it was just like that. It's the same concept where you just, you don't just go take it out hunting, go zero it first, which is why I tell people another reason you should go freaking, why would you not go pattern your shotgun? I'm like, because if you go bow hunt or rifle hunt, what are you going to go do prior to? You are going to go shoot that to ensure that you're on.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be the same concept. But yeah, so new world, new avenues to go from there. But yeah, it's gonna be exciting. So we'll stick with like the most common grain weight, most popular one grain weight for each caliber, at least to start. And then we'll obviously expand from there. So like I'm looking at the 30-06 box, that'll be all 150 grain. 308 will be 150 grain, and I think 270 I think 130 grain, and I can't remember the others, but yeah, so it's going to be a new thing, but very, very exciting.
Okay, so let's jump back real quick to the pheasant. What are you running the pheasant shells in? What caliber? What are we going to offer them in?
We'll just start with 12 gauge.
Oh, come on. We can't start with 12. It's pheasants. Come on.
Why? I mean, what are more people running 20 gauge?
I think so. I don't know for sure, but we need to do a little research on this. I'm going to give you crap because that's what I ran the other day.
No, fair enough. I mean, hell, I don't know. That's what I got in front of me. I guess
I would say it's a mixture. I'd say there's a lot of guys that run 12s. I'd say I see a lot of 12s when I was over there.
I mean, I would say I could see the 20. Just
it's a sub gauge world, man.
Is a gentleman's sport or whatever. You got the guys out there with freaking
the over unders. You got to have the over unders.
And they got freaking plaid on and like the freaking I don't remember, like Peaky Blinders freaking style cap, and
yeah, it's Orvis is the brand. It's really expensive. Yeah, it's Orvis.
Yeah, everything Orvis touches is all fly fishing, all that stuff.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, your up on the vest is expensive.
Tom Beckby, that's the kind of stuff that I expect those people to.
They got to be fancy. They got to be all fancy like.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm like, I don't know. I'm still running the same freaking. still running the same damn deer hunting pants that I've got, and my orange blaze vest that I've had from Bass Pro for 15 years. Like, I don't know.
Oh,
Like, it just it does the trick, and it's funny. My brother-in-law's family's done it the last couple of years. They've done pheasant hunt, but yeah, it's obviously all release birds. And you got some people who have got some like nice guns and over unders and other stuff. And I'm like, well, I got my Remington 870 that's all beat up from falling down and going through the turkey woods and all kinds of stuff. Like, I don't know, it does the freaking trick for me. So no reason to mess with anything
well,
else.
when we get you up there this fall, man, we'll go do a pheasant hunt. Because I'm gonna get you to come up here this fall and go duck hunting. So we'll go do a pheasant hunt one afternoon or something.
Dude, I would yes, absolutely. So I would love. Brody and I have talked about this too, and we should all freaking go do this together. I want to go to the Dakotas and go do a duck hunt in the morning, and then go pheasant hunting that afternoon.
My cousin and them just went out there and went. They basically did that. They didn't duck hunt. They just went on a pheasant hunt, and they said it was pretty fun. I'm actually what I'm jealous they did the glow in the dark clays.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm pissed about that. Like I would pay the $3,000 just to go do that.
that's expensive. Damn.
Well, I think it was like $1,000. It was like, I don't know. Actually, I have no idea how much it was before I speak for someone.
Start my OnlyFans before we start doing that.
You better start like, yeah. I mean, I buy a lot of expensive.
Only mustaches.
I buy a lot of expensive clothes, but like, and with Shin and everything. But man, I haven't paid. I haven't really dropped over $1,000 yet to go on a hunt.
So I did that for the first time this year. But the good thing for me is now all that stuff is a tax write-off.
I mean, I don't like. So, who all did everyone in the business go, or did you just be like, "Hey guys, we're on this hunt. By the way, we got to tax write this thing off because
yeah,
bit off more than I chew."
So I talked Christian into it. I still don't know if he's happy about it or not.
Oh yeah. Never mind. I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, I wanted to talk about this real quick. Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. Yes, there's still like a spot open. I don't know why you're not freaking doing it. Just like,
dude, I sent it to Will. Will, if you'll listen to this, there's still a spot open. This is getting released like probably tomorrow or the next day. Like we need to go. I'll tag you in the post, Will. See if you can find this clip.
Yeah, dude. This turkey challenge. Like, I know, like, yes, it's a little expensive, but like,
dude. So
I'm fired up about it.
My favorite. Oh, I'm glad you did not message me first about this. I'm glad Christian got drug into this and not me, because I'd be like, hell yeah, we're doing it. There was a show.
What's this thing? And I told him, he's like, Jesus, dude. And I'm like, well, yeah, but it's a tax write-off. Like,
there was a show called Campbell's Campers produced it, which was a video company out of Illinois, and they took all these hunting teams, and I wish someone would reproduce this. And they would go to like different places, and they would film, and they had to film their hunts. Like they were all like at different guides.
I think I've seen this.
They only did like one season of it, and there were some like hilarious guys on there, and they were like film them, and there might have been 2 seasons of it. And then they would like grade their films. Like they had to get if they harvest something, they got points for it.
I did see this.
And they had to have like time lapses. They had to be like had these like listed creative stuff they had to do, and it was basically like showing them, like it was judging them off how well they could produce a TV show at X place or Y place. Dude, I would like when you told me about this. That's the first thing that kicked in my mind. I was like, oh, we're filming all this, right? And it's a competition, and we're gonna win, right? Like.
Oh yeah, dude. Like I'm super competitive. Like I'm not gonna do anything stupid. Like I told you, but like I'm in it. Like I'm in it to win it, and it's like, you know, playing sports my whole life, playing college baseball. Like I was a freaking everything I did super competitive. Like we're playing pickup basketball. Like I'm going all out. I'm going to freaking win. And then I think it's one of the reasons like I gravitated towards duck hunting and turkey hunting so much, because it felt like a competition. Like I get like, when I shoot something, I get fired up. Like,
yeah, you can make it very competitive.
And I'm like, yes, this is a competition. So I'm like, I'm super excited about it. But like normally when it comes to like calls or whatever, I'll be like, I don't know, I'll go buy a 3-pack from freaking Ace Hardware of mouth calls, and I've got the same box call and slate call that I've had the last few years, and so I went out and I'm gonna grab it. I got them. Um, I got one of these stupid looking things.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I got the freaking gobble tube from Quaker Boy. And I was like, you know what? Like, it was like $20, and I was like, you know what? Screw it. Like, it might be dumb, but somebody is probably. I guarantee you, somebody has got it to work exactly how they want it to. And I watched a little freaking YouTube on it. Hey, it's funny because it came out from Quaker Boy like 10 years ago. I think it was 10 years ago.
Oh yeah, it's old. It's like old school. You didn't see. Okay, here's the thing: you got to watch that. So if you pick it up real quick and you like compress it, it'll make a noise. So you got to watch that. Yeah, you got to watch.
Goose call. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to watch that. Like the one I had a little flap on the end, so it couldn't
Give
compress.
me a little butt plug for it.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, there you go. You're set up.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, like, and I could see it working in certain situations where it's like maybe everything's freaking just dead quiet, and you're like, dude, nothing will do anything, and maybe that'll give him a freaking shot gobble. And then I was like, all right, well, maybe if a bird's just hung up, and he's with hands, or he won't come any closer, and I'm like, all right, well, it's kind of a Hail Mary, but screw it. Like, so I've been kind of messing with that. I'm like, all right, like that kind of sounds like it. I'm sure if I wasn't in my basement, it would maybe sound a little bit better. But I'm like, all right, whatever. It's just something else to throw in my bag. And then the other thing that I'm actually a bit more excited about, it's supposed to come in the mail tomorrow, is a trumpet call.
Is it
Which
one of the wingbone like trumpet calls?
well, it's not. Yeah, but it's not a wing bone. It's just that I don't know what it's a trumpet. I don't know.
Did you buy the Rolling Thunder one? Did you buy the Rolling Thunder one?
No, I didn't, because that was like $200.
Oh, okay. I was gonna give you crap. Well, I mean, first off, if I ever give you crap for that, you can quickly turn and just be like, "Well, put on a piece of your clothing, there, jackass."
yeah. Your shirt will be more than my outfit from wherever the hell.
I mean, I do have the brand new shin vest I'm picking up tomorrow, so I guess.
I've never had turkey vests. I've got like my wife got me like kind of like almost like a chest rig last year that you can use for a bunch of different things, but I actually used that last year, worked out pretty good. But no, I got one. Was like Walking Dead bird, or what was it? Walking Dead game bird or something like that, I think was the call. But I think it was like $60. And I was like, you know what, like just something else just a little bit different tune. And my brother-in-law's got one. My nephews are always freaking messing around on theirs, and it just sounds a little bit different. And like you're talking about, a lot of calls will sound the same, and sometimes having just that little bit of difference, I think, can make or break your hunt. But yeah, so I'm like, all right, we're gonna try all these different little things this year, and we'll kind of roll from there. But I'm excited for this year. This Saturday is actually our youth opener. So Saturday, Sunday is youth. So I'm on shift Sunday, so I can only take her out Saturday. But I'm excited. Christian will be here Thursday night, so hopefully we're gonna try and film it Saturday. But him and I are both pretty much technologically illiterate, to say it politely. So I've got my GoPro with like almost like a selfie stick rigged with zip ties on on a tripod. So we'll see how that freaking works.
I mean, redneck engineer, man. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know, like it looks like it worked. It's like the damn thing will sit in one spot and turn on. So that's all I needed to do.
Well, man, let's start wrapping up here. Just because we've been going for like an hour and 20 minutes. We said we weren't going to go that long, and then of course here we do. But this is our typical conversations last 20 minutes, simple whenever we're on the phone together. let's talk real quick. You know, y'all got a lot of big things coming out. I've gave your social media out before. I'll try to remember to tag your social media. But let everybody know where to find you guys. And like right now, they need to be checking out. You got some stuff coming out. You got for sure. You got the waterfowl out on the net, out right now, and the duck. The pheasants are coming. The guns are coming. Is other stuff still coming?
The choke tube stuff will come out this year, probably around. I'd like to kind of launch everything right around Delta. So in July, that last week of July,
Okay.
we'll be in Des Moines, Iowa. But yeah, choke tube
Oh,
rental pack.
you're going to Des Moines for that?
Yep.
That's
So, which I thought was we all thought was weird, but
I still think it's weird.
When I asked when we were signing up at the show last year, I was like, why, why Iowa? And they're like, there's more Delta Waterfowl members in that area than anywhere else in the country. So I thought that was, I was like, oh, that's interesting, but it's funny that the hot topic of the year is flooded corn. And I was like, well, Iowa does have more corn than everybody else. So I was like, hell, maybe it's the Mecca that nobody freaking talks about.
It might be.
I don't know, but the people I've talked to from Iowa, they're like, no, that's not the case. So I don't know. We'll see. Whatever. But social media, yeah. So Instagram is just Pattern Pros. The website is Pattern Pros USA, and then the Facebook is Pattern Pros USA. And then actually, you've got a discount code for you for the old Winter Productions here. It's gonna be Winter 10.
I'll have to write that down.
Yeah. So Winter 10. If you can't spell that out, just ask Siri.
Yeah. It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
That's how I explain how I spell my name. Most of the time I go Winter. And then when they get down, I go, it's Stein. And then they start, and I'm like, it's more like Steen. Let's just go with that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's all I got.
Yeah, man, Ron, thank you again so much. And why don't you hurry up and kill a bird down there? Actually, I don't know. Turkeys are tough up here. I don't know, but we might late season if you get like a long weekend or something, maybe.
I mean, I've always got a long weekend.
That's true. That's true. You are a firefighter. You all do have a lot of long weekends, but
it's whether or not my wife's going to let me travel to another state. We may have to save that one for waterfowl. Just more to travel.
Luckily our license run all year. So once you buy the license, it'll be good this fall too.
Oh yeah, no, I already bought my freaking North Carolina license, and I was like, that was a lot more expensive than I wanted it to be. But yeah, I mean, hell, shit. Might as well, right? If I buy it now, is it still good for next turkey season though? Is it like one continuous year?
I wish so. Ohio does. My Ohio license just went dead the other day, so Ohio is March to March. Kentucky, I think I'm gonna probably get it wrong. It's June to June, but freaking we're January to January. So dead smack in the middle of your duck season. You got to make sure you're buying your license, buying your stamps.
That's dumb.
Yeah, trust me, we know. Not only I'd be okay, you don't have to care about waterfowl. We have a deer season that you have to re-up your license for. Sometimes we sometimes have a deer season. I don't know if we still do, but I remember us having one year, first, second, and third of January, and I'm like, well, shit, everybody just had to re-buy their license. Now I have a lifetime, but I still have to redo my HIP card, or I'm not legal.
I thought the HIP you only had to do it once a year,
but our license roll over.
That's just dumb.
So we have to redo it. Yeah. So, yep.
Let me call Trump. Let me call Trump and get that fixed.
Someone needs to get it fixed. I mean, all it is literally moving where our roll our license over in March right now. There's nothing going on. No hunting season. Rolled over. Everything's out. Rabbits out. Everything. Yeah. So I don't know. But man, thank you so much. Make sure y'all are checking out Pattern Pros. This is a new season, and honestly, I don't even know what's on the outro, so I'm kind of scared to hit it because we have Pattern Pros that is now lovely joining us, and Gadwall Whiskey, which I didn't have any Gadwall tonight, but I have a bottle of Cast over there that I am excited to crack open here soon. Actually, he was texting me when we got this started, and he was like, "Have you tried the Cast?" I was like, "No, I'm waiting on my father-in-law. He's been busy, but he's got to get here this weekend so I can crack that bottle of cast open. See what?
No, you just gotta tell him like I had to deal with your daughter. I had to drink plenty beforehand.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Oh man, but thank you again, Ryan, and you have an excellent night, and we'll catch you all on the flip side. Peace out. Life Between the Volleys is brought to you by Hunt Proof, Gadwall Whiskey, Rixie Outdoors, Pattern Pros, Recall Dog Vest, Dirty Duck Coffee, Bluebird Waterfowl, and Winter Productions. Proud to run with the brands that keep us going, from the blonde to the edit and every mile in between.